there's a passion that ignites us, driven by pride, daring, and the desire to excel, fueled by the high-octane love of owners, drivers, and car lovers everywhere. It's a calling for every man and woman to enjoy and live this lifestyle now. Welcome to Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Ryan Zeller, how are you doing today?
Excellent. We're doing good on this hot 95-degree day.
Besides hot and sticky.
Yeah.
Thanks for braving the weather out.
Yes, we're happy to be here.
Ryan, you have such an interesting story to tell about how you started in the business and how you got here today with this beautiful car. Give us a little backstory on it.
Yeah, so I'm not originally from this area. We moved, my wife and I moved out here in roughly 2020. And a little shortly after that is when I got my hands on the collection to be able to curate through my business, bang it out. This 906 here was acquired by the client, I think right around 2014. And then after he acquired it, a little later in 2019, there was a owner's manual book that came up for sale on Bring a Trailer. You can go on there too, you can find it. And they only made 50 of these cars in 1966, and somebody stole that owner's manual out of it. Whether they took it knowing that it was gonna, sell for a lot of money or be worth something, I don't know, but I think it ended up in like Switzerland. Now it's for sale on Bring a Trailer, and the gentleman had to pay like $13,000 to get that book.
What?
Yep. So he acquired that book because it belongs to these cars. So obviously if there was other 50 owners that wanted that book, that's why, they kept bidding it and bidding it. So yeah, $13,000 later, he gets that book and it stays safely in a safe now. It don't even stay with the car.
That is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep, yeah, so yeah, you can see the history on it. And it's been out to Radnor. Radnor's a pretty known concourse show around this area. I think that was about 2018. It was at the Coatesville Grand Prix in 2019, and luckily the owner allows me to bring it to events like this too.
How cool.
Yeah.
And you yourself, you are in the industry like I am. You have a shop and
Yeah, so when we moved here, I've had the shop for about 2 years and mainly working on his collection and then getting into clients' cars and from old to new. I now have a couple other employees that I'm able to keep there, and about a year ago we got an account with Expel for some paint protection films. We offer that, vinyl graphics, ceramic coatings, and mechanical repairs. So wide variety of stuff that we do, and we don't usually turn anything down.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
How do you feel when you're driving this car?
Everybody always asks if you're nervous when you're driving cars, and I don't even think about it, It's kind of like, if you feel like it's gonna rain today, it's gonna rain.
Right.
You think something's gonna happen to the car? Something may happen, so I don't think that. You try to treat every car with the respect that they have.
Yeah.
This or anything else, and no, I don't think about it. I just try to enjoy it and be as safe as you can.
Well, that says a lot about you and your character, that you're entrusted with this collection.
I know.
What do you think events like Cars and Coffee do for the community?
Oh, you see, it's always great car people, and when we actually do tours through the collection that I curate too, it's all through word of mouth, and it's all because people are enthusiasts, and that's who's here.
Yeah.
If you're not interested in this, you're not here.
Yeah.
So it's always a great crowd. It's always good to meet people and talk to everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You're a brave soul.
Yeah.
And I heard you when you drove up, but I got to get this on camera.
Yeah, I'd be happy to start it. Let's do it. Never gets tired.
Let's do it.
Yep.
I love it. Paul Riccioli, Did I say that right?
You got it right.
Okay. Paul Riccioli of RPM Resto and Custom.
Correct.
And you brought one hell of a business card with you here today.
Thank you very much.
34 Ford pickup. And you did all of the work yourself.
All of it, yep.
What kind of condition was she in when you bought her?
I bought just a rusty cab. So
Okay.
I went to a guy's house, bought a cab. Bottom 6 inches were completely rotted out. The outsides of the doors were shot. Dragged it home and started from there and just built it as I wanted it.
Did you have a vision for it? Have you seen one that you like, that you built the vision around, or you just kind of
so
like...
I've definitely been into the 30s style hot rods. I knew I wanted something chopped, channeled, a little bit shorter bed, lower ride height. You know, very period correct hot rod, but with a little bit of modern touches here and there.
Mm-hmm. And you've had your shop for how long?
Almost 20 years now.
Wow.
So about 2006 I opened up.
How did you enter into this black hole of an industry?
So my father, my father got me into it. My father has a 1976 Datsun that he's owned since new.
Yeah.
And when I was in middle school, he started restoring it. I got into it a little bit with him. I was 15 years old. I'd wanted to get a summer job. Wasn't old enough yet to work anywhere. So my father actually paid me to do kind of some of the grunt work on the car while he was at work all day, and that sparked my interest. And then you know, I bought a Camaro when I was 16 that I actually still own, and that was it. I kind of realized that I enjoyed doing it. I was good at it. I was getting a lot of attention, and the shop just kind of bloomed from there.
Self-taught.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. So 20 years. What's your most favorite project that you've ever done?
I mean, aside from the truck, it's hard to say. I did an old Maserati Campson from the 70s. That was a really unique vehicle. Early 40s Cadillac. I've had a little bit of everything. I get a lot of old Datsuns that come through my shop. So it's a lot of everything. I do antique soda machines, you name it, and
Wow.
I'll customize it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool.
So,
I want to know a little bit more about her. Well, does she have a name?
no name. Feel bad beating on them if you give them a name.
Okay. So she's a workhorse.
Yeah, it was made to be driven.
I love it. You race her?
No, I haven't raced it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to blow anything
Right,
up,
right,
but
right,
it
right.
definitely gets driven.
I love the interior
Thank you.
with the vinyl with the red speckles, and it's just super cool. Tell me some things that you've done to it that really just put your stamp on it.
So I did the chop. It's a 5-inch chop. You know, cut the whole roof off, got it all straight, did all the dimple dye work in the visor in the front, channeled it 3 inches so it sits a little over the frame, hides that frame a little bit. Bed is shorter. I wanted that symmetrical look. I made it so that the wheel is centered in the bed instead of having extended bed past there. And then just all little details. You know, I'm a devil's in a detail kind of guy. Any little thing I could do that just kind of made it unique and made it as perfect as possible, I went with.
It's really beautiful.
Thank
How
you.
long did it take you to restore?
So between work and kids and customer work, it was about a 9-year project.
We always put ourselves to the back burner, don't we?
Shoemaker's kids are always barefoot kind of thing, you know?
It's so true.
Absolutely.
You did a beautiful job.
Oh,
over
I
there.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and if people want to come check you out,
Sure.
check this car out, where do they go?
You can go either on Facebook, RPM Resto and Custom, or rpmrestoandcustom.com. I'm in central New Jersey in Hillsborough Township, and I'd be more than happy to, you know, speak with anyone who has any kind of needs.
You are doing God's work, keeping these beauties alive
Thank you.
and restoring them. So
Somebody has to.
I know, right?
We got to make sure the future generations keep it going.
Keep the dream alive.
Absolutely.
I really want to hear.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fire this
Start
baby
up.
up?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Promotional consideration provided by...
Your car is stolen. A crisis for you. A tragedy for your community. Theft hurts everyone. Insurance rises. Your neighborhood violated. Who will be next? But you can feel more protected and secure with the LoJack system. LoJack brings it back. LoJack's vehicle recovery system will find your vehicle usually within 30 minutes. And with the recent launch of LoJack LE, we're equipping our law enforcement partners with a safer and more efficient way to recover your vehicle. The LoJack app creates a bond of trust, providing enhanced features designed to promote safety and convenience, and you'll always know where your vehicle is. Only LoJack stands with this promise. Receive up to $10,000 reimbursement if your vehicle is not recovered in 30 days. Let LoJack bring back your safety, confidence, and give you a greater driving experience. LoJack brings it back.
My name is Yanis Lasmanis and I'm the owner of Corsair Detail. So I started using Urable about 4 years ago when I opened my first shop and haven't looked back since. First couple of weeks I realized that it's really not that easy to take all the notes and save all the numbers, and I knew that I needed some kind of strategy. So we have 3 detail shops, so the communication between the managers is very, very important. So let's say when we book the job, we try to take as most details as possible. So then when actually a client arrives at the location, my manager already has a lot of details on what we talked about. So what Urable does, I think it would be impossible to replace by people. Probably half an army, maybe 100 people. There's so many things that go into it, and it has made my business so much more easier. And if I'd have to replace that by people, it's pretty much impossible. What I'm trying to teach these younger detailers, you have to have a system in place, because at the end of the day, you want to have an exit plan. What Urable exactly does, I think a lot of people are, there's a lot of other softwares, with the same industry, but nobody can beat Urable. Seriously, it is the best software for what we do, and if you're a detailer, you definitely need to have one.
Welcome back to Cars and Coffee Exposed. Meet Grant Menard. This self-made entrepreneur and car collector has been living the automotive lifestyle since his teens. What started out as selling Doritos and Arnold Palmer's out of the back of his Mustang in high school has now led to a successful career in the automotive industry. When he's not meeting with clients nationwide, you can find him managing his successful detailing shops in Bucks County, just outside of Philadelphia. I caught up with my old friend at one of his beautiful shops for a chat and a wild ride.
Here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Grant Menard. And in this beautiful space, this pretty legendary man cave that you've created, Car Heads. And we've got a little bit of your collection here. You and I go way back.
We do.
And it's so fun to be, because you've actually interviewed me before.
It's hard being on this side.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Well, and actually, you're a big reason for us being here today. I mean, we're like family at this point,
We are,
really.
100%.
Really.
Yeah.
You're part of the Urable family, which is our family, one of our title sponsors, and we love Urable. And now you've taken over sales for them, I hear.
Doing a little bit.
Great job.
Yeah.
But it's been such an evolution for you from where you started to here. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit before we go into this amazing collection.
Sure.
So what started you into the car business? And I don't even know this, and I've known you for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so actually it plays off of this Mustang behind me here, and this car started everything for me. So that's the first car I bought when I was in college on an internship at a local car dealership, Sioka dealership. And that car came in the lot, and I bought it off the lot that day. And I really learned how to work hard when buying that car, because my mom said, hey, you can buy this, but you have 3 months to pay it off. So I worked every single day. I worked my butt off over there at the dealership, 8 to 8. Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturdays. I was able to pay that car off in that summer alone, and then brought it to Penn State with me. Took my wife on her first date in it, and actually got my first detail job through that car too.
You got to tell the people, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
what you do now, because you have a pretty amazing business that you've grown for yourself.
Yeah, I got a detail shop, Menard Premium Detailing. Again, that started from this Mustang. It was kind of the silhouette of our logo from back in the day, and that transitioned into everything I have today. All the businesses, including this place.
Detailing, what other services do you offer at Menard?
So we do cars, boats, planes, some homes as well. We got into. We got into some dumpsters, oddly enough, and ceramic coating those. But ceramic coating, paint protection film, does all the protection side. So that's due to my mom. My mom is super OCD. Like, you walk into her house and you would never guess that she had a party the night before with 50 people. She's just always keeping things nice and clean. That's what transitioned into my life. So it was really easy when I started cleaning cars because I loved it. And it was part of my blood, kind of part of who I am.
Okay, so tell us about your car collection here, because this is not all of it, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you told us.
Which is funny to say, yeah. 'Cause all this is all new to me, right? This is all. I came from nothing, like most. Like, I wasn't handed anything. So even when I married my wife, I had $113 to my name. So this is kind of cool to see, even it lit up like this. How cool it is to bring this all together.
Yeah. Talking about community, we actually interviewed someone that you got a couple of these cars from.
Yeah.
You guys have kind of gone back and forth for a little while with your little love affair.
100%. We sure have. Yeah.
Jordan Sawalko, we met him in Scottsdale. He has an amazing collection. Tell us a couple of the things that you took from his collection that are now part of yours.
Yeah. So I started. The car's not here because unfortunately I crashed it on a track a couple weeks ago. But I know. But the car that came after my Mustang was my 2013 WRX. I had big turboed it, pulled the motor out, did a full STI swap. So that was the car that started it for me on the Subaru side, and that was due to my brother Reed, who was into Subarus and kind of brought me into that world. And then Jordan actually called me on this car, which is the WRC, the spec car. And it's got an incredible story behind it that we'll go over at some point, I'm sure. But Jordan started with this, so he called me on it, and he's like, hey, I got this car, and I knew this car. And the only reason he's selling it, based off Jordan's collection, is because of one reason. It's white.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's not black.
It's not black. So I knew this car from SEMA. It's a really well-documented car. It's a car that I've always loved, and even in his collection. So when he called me on it and offered it to me, I mean, how am I supposed to say no? I was like, absolutely, it doesn't matter the cost. I'm happy to go to take it. And he gave it, being best buds, it was a good deal. So I ended up buying that car, and then a year later, he had this 04 STI, 11,000 miles, gentleman spec, gentleman built. Had that car this whole time. It just needed space because, as we could tell from Jordan's car collection, nothing's under 6 figures anymore. So those are the two cars that actually came from Arizona, and then that just kept going. This car I found locally right after I bought Jordan's car. The RS6 came shortly after that, and then I'm a big truck guy too. Love my big rigs.
It's so interesting to me how people find their little niches and of interest.
Yeah.
And yours is Subaru.
It's Subaru and Ford, and here's the thing.
Okay.
This is what I've come to realize.
Tell me.
Because everyone's like, why do you need so many cars? And the simplest answer is every car here has a purpose. There's not one single car in here, well, other than these two, because you really can't drive them because they're low mileage. But every car I own, I drive. And every car, I believe, deserves 100,000 miles at minimum. And all the cars in here are going to be there. That car already hit it. This one's going to be next. The Audi, if I keep it, is going to be one after that. So every car, to me, has a purpose for what it's driven. I got my dad wagon now. I got my fun weekend car drive. I want to rip it around corners, which I'm sure we're going to do. I got my top-down car for the summer. That's not fast, but sounds good. I got my trucks, when I need to go pick up something. I got one to haul, one to drive around that's, high-powered. So every car has a purpose to me. They're beautiful in art, for sure, but they're way more beautiful when they're driving down the road and getting the absolute crap beat out of them.
Why Subaru?
It's just a cool brand, and everyone can afford it. You can pick up a Subaru, even like an older WRX or a 2013 WRX for like 10 grand.
Sure.
And from a 16-year-old who's getting his first car all the way up to now these cars, which are 04 and 05, almost 20 years ago, that now you got these 40, 50-year-olds that when you bring these up, their eyes light up. And they're like, I remember when that car came out.
Is this the one we're driving
100%,
today?
yeah.
Okay.
And this car I actually drove back from, I flew out to Jordan's to pick it up. So we went on a car rally, Corsa rally, which is where I met Jordan initially. So yeah, we're gonna go have some fun in this thing. There's a cool road that's my favorite road whenever I wanna hit up, wake up early on a Saturday and get out in the roads. This is the car I take, and that's the road I always hit. So I think we can go have some fun on it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go.
How often do you drive those?
This car?
Yeah.
All the time. But last year, or 2 years ago now, probably even 3 years.
And Jordan kept this car for you 2 years before you bought it?
No, the black car.
Oh, okay.
Jordan called me on this, and right away I was like, yeah, absolutely. So he gave me this car, or I bought this car off him, and then we had that Corsa rally. So my buddy John and I jumped in this, and John just as big as me. It's like about 2 big dudes in this thing. We're like 5,000 miles.
Holy sh!
And we're going with Lambos, Ferraris, Aston Martins, you name it, like these high-powered hypercars or exotics.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, dude, it'd be sick. Let's bring a Subaru. Like, horrible idea.
Because your Subaru is spicy.
Oh, stop this.
Because you're spicy Subaru.
Oh, God. Cut. So we ended up going on this car rally, and this thing, we flew out. We ended up having to send these seats. So I put these Sparco SPXs in, which I love these seats. They're really cool.
They are.
Yeah, carbon bucket, super comfortable seats. Don't belong in a Subaru under any means, but usually you see these cars in exotics or Porsches or track cars. So, but John and I were like, dude, there's no way we're fitting into the seats. They had some OMP seats that were in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous seats, but we're just, I got some wide hips. This car ended up taking it up Pikes Peak, which is the world-renowned race hill of, the world, where everyone's racing up. So this car went up Pikes Peak. And it's not a high horsepower car, so we were halfway up and atmosphere started hitting, and next thing you know, this thing was running at like 80 horsepower. So we got it up to like 9,500 feet, which is pretty damn good for this. And then took it on the salt flats, and then shipped it back from Vail. So that was like my first drive in this thing was on 3,500 miles of, in high speed, right? This is not, this car's meant for the track.
Yeah.
Like handling the road really well. I could take a corner going 120 in this.
What?
Top speed down the hill with John and I going like this. We hit 132. So that's all it's got.
So if not for speed, for handling?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to feel some cornering real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
A little bit.
Okay.
Coming at you, boys.
Woo! Holy. Jeez. Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
Smile. See, sometimes you don't need high horsepower speed. And the car's not about, like there's no noise canceling in this thing.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. It's a loud car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rear seats elite, the vehicle with the half cage in, all welded to the ground, all TIG welded, which again nobody does.
Oh my God, that is fun.
It's like half tilt. So think about this, like this is a weekend car.
Yeah.
It's perfect. If I was in the countryside where I could really open it up and I needed something,
Yeah.
it's like my RS6, like that's the car I go high power, top speed in.
Yeah.
That's why this car is so much fun.
What is that even for? That little porthole.
So this is a roof scoop. So in racing, there's no AC because AC cars take away from power, and they add a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Not a ton of weight, but they definitely add weight. But they're all about weight reduction. So this is a way to cool down the driver when they're driving. So they go like this when they want to cool down, and that's their AC system. You asked me the question earlier too. It's like, why Subarus?
Yeah.
And it's difficult. I mean, one, because they're all affordable. The cool thing is, well, transitionally, drivers go from Subarus to M3s, Porsches, then into an exotic to some degree. And at all times, most of the guys, I mean, once you get into the Porsche realm, Porsches are Porsches, and that's, I had a Porsche and I loved every bit of it. But there's just something about just getting into a Subaru that brings you back to the days that you started driving or you started to appreciate cars more than like your Honda Accord, which are still cool.
I always think about Subaru drivers, like, I think about the people that drive Subarus, they're like the same people that wear those like river shoes. And don't wear deodorant.
Oh, God. Give me a sniff. Come on in.
Yeah, you're good.
I think I'm good. And I've owned a lot of Subarus outside of WRXs and STIs. I like, whenever I purchase anything, I always go for the top end. I don't want to work my way up. I always would rather just save up to go for the best. And that's throughout my cars.
Yeah.
Especially more recent, I'm super grateful and lucky to be able to afford the
I
guess the better of them, if you were to say that.
I wouldn't say luck. I think you've definitely earned it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. It's kind of cool. Like that's why when we were sitting there and I was looking back and I almost started tearing up. So like it's cool.
Oh,
like I don't see things like that. It's like I go with the flow every day and I wake up and enjoy every moment of it. And the cars is not what's defined me under any means.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is I let people, and anybody that wants to take out a car, I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's not, I'm not a guy that's like, oh, I just want to enjoy this for myself. I want everybody to enjoy them. Like cars, that's what they're meant to be. That's why cars and coffees are so neat. It's because the greed kind of goes away. Because you build community around them. You heard from almost everybody you've interviewed or that you get to meet at these cars and coffees, that the enthusiast level of the cars and coffee. I mean, think about it. You get 2 days off on a weekend typically, right? From the 9 to 5. And you want to wake up early in the morning to go and hang out with car people for like 2-3 hours. The first thing you want to do on your day off. And then typically that extends to now where you're eating lunches with new people, old people, older friends.
Yeah.
You're trading cars, you're going on drives.
Yeah.
It's moving into Sunday, like you're going out. So it really does build friendship and community around it, which is so neat. Yeah, that's why it's powerful.
It is pretty powerful. Pretty peaceful here, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, it's all small little micro towns around.
Yes.
Have great bars and awesome food. Cool place to shop. And then you can take the train out of Princeton to New York City. Be there and back in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that sometimes? Like you just don't know what you want to do with your life?
I did for years.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I figured it out. And then I just had to figure out how to get businesses to run for me so that I could go and do what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Which is exactly what I mentioned. Drive cars.
Yeah.
Golf. Travel a ton. Fly my plane.
Yeah.
And that's where I, when I'm in those like 4 aspects of life is when I feel most like I'm actually living the life I want, like most confident.
We'll be right back with more Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Promotional consideration provided by
Your car is stolen. A crisis for you, a tragedy for your community. Theft hurts everyone. Insurance rises, your neighborhood violated. Who will be next? But you can feel more protected and secure with the LoJack system. LoJack brings it back. LoJack's vehicle recovery system will find your vehicle usually within 30 minutes. And with the recent launch of LoJack LE, we're equipping our law enforcement partners with a safer and more efficient way to recover your vehicle. The LoJack app creates a bond of trust, providing enhanced features designed to promote safety and convenience, and you'll always know where your vehicle is. Only LoJack stands with this promise. Receive up to $10,000 reimbursement if your vehicle is not recovered in 30 days. Let LoJack bring back your safety, confidence, and give you a greater driving experience. LoJack brings it back.
What is Your Able? We are a business management system that helps create an exceptional customer experience and improves business operations. As a car enthusiast, you deserve the best, and Your Able is the common denominator. With so many detail shops, endless brands of ceramic coatings, window tint, and paint protection film, it's hard to find the right shop for the job. Shops powered by Your Able understand the care and quality that your investment requires. Avoid shops that are in the race to the bottom. If you want to identify the best providers in your area, make sure they're powered by Your Able.
Welcome back to Cars and Coffee Exposed.
David Hutchinson.
Yes.
I've never seen one of these cars. Am I alone? I mean,
well, you should have seen one because there's like 8 or 9 of them on the road.
That's it?
In the country.
That's
yeah.
it?
Yeah, very few.
How'd you come across it?
I bought it in the middle of the night from my best friend in a moment of despair.
Really?
In April 1977.
Interesting.
He had wrecked his Formula Ford at Lime Rock.
Uh-huh.
Opening a repair bill for his car.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't fix the race car. Couldn't fix the car. He said, if you pay the repair bill,
it's yours.
I'll give you the car. So I bought it on a $1.02 deposit, probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning in April 1977. That's my story.
Are you still friends?
We're great friends. We're lifelong friends.
But that says something that he wanted to preserve the car that
well,
bad
maybe
that he'd
he
rather
knew I'd
see
hook
it.
onto it or whatever. Who knows? Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
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 I'm educating myself on this car. So a Triumph engine.
Yes.
which is British.
Yes.
It's a blend of British engineering and Italian bodywork.
Correct. There was a man named Salvatore Ruffino who was a Triumph importer in the 50s and 60s. And he wanted to marry the Italian artistry of design with the British reliabilities. Right. British mechanicals. And he did. And he approached Zagato, he approached other body manufacturers at the time who were busy, and he finally partnered with Vignale, and Michelotti designed the car, and he and Vignale had worked together before building some of the most beautiful Ferraris from 1950 to 54. So they put together this idea, Michelotti penned it, and their hope was to build 1,500 cars and put one in every showroom across the whole globe.
Ah.
What happened was that the financial problems in Triumph overshadowed everything. They only built 329, and they brought 35 here into the States. And I bought it in 77. It didn't look like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's been through some restoration.
I worked with a restoration shop, Ragtops and Roasters. We restored this car from 92, 94, 95. So it's been out of restoration about 30 years now. And I've got 35,000 miles on it. And I've driven it on many rallies and tours and had a lot of fun with it over the years. Yeah.
I bet you have.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit about cars and coffee, and one of the things that I find common when I speak to people is how giving this community is and this culture. And you yourself are involved in some charities, and
Yes.
talk about that a little bit.
In 2008, we picked up an idea from a friend of mine in Michigan called America's British Reliability Run. It's a bit of an oxymoron if you know anything about British cars. And bottom line is they drove for a couple days and raised money for children's charities. We copied their idea, they facilitated us and helped us very much. And we had a great time putting on the first one. I think we raised 8,000 or maybe 15,000 the first run. And we've modified it a little bit since then. We've been running it every year since 2010. And this year we're running October 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're starting at Camelback Ski Lodge. We'll be driving 3 different loops. And the benefactor of our efforts is Shriners Hospital for Children. Our event, America's British Reliability Run, is the 3rd largest contributor to Shriners here in Philadelphia.
Wow.
And we're always there for the kids, and it's always great to give back that way. So we have 30 teams. We're about half full right now. There's still room. If you have a British car and you want to join us, that's fantastic. And
Love it.
And
where should they reach you if they want to join?
all you have to do is Google the 2 words you've never Googled together before. British Reliability. And you'll find it. There's actually 5 runs throughout the country right now. Friends of ours over the years have put them on in Connecticut, and DC, and Colorado, and New Hampshire. So we have 5 of them going throughout the country. When and if I ever retire, I'd like to put more effort into get them through the whole country and find children's charities, run in the fall, and have a great time.
Yeah. Thank you so much and Ragtops and Roasters, shout out, because you guys kept this beauty alive.
We did this. We've done 2 other Triumph Italia since then. They've been invited to Amelia Island. They won there. Our specialty is British cars, but we do many different car marks. We're in Pottstown and Percy. We have 16 guys going full-time restoring automobiles.
Incredible work.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful car. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
You want to hear it?
Can we fire her up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Not a problem. All right.